How does China's Belt and Road Initiative affect Russia's neighborhood? Imagine a giant web stretching across continents, connecting countries with roads, ports, and pipelines. That's what China's Belt and Road Initiative is doing. It's a huge plan to boost trade and infrastructure across Asia, Europe, and Africa. Over 150 countries are involved, including many close to Russia. This project is changing how Russia's neighbors interact economically and politically. In Central Asia and the South Caucasus, China is building roads, railways, and energy projects. Countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Armenia, and Azerbaijan are seeing new infrastructure. These projects help them trade more easily with China and other parts of the world. They also give these countries options outside of Russian influence. Some nations are choosing to work more with China to diversify their economies. This means they might relying less on Russia for trade and investment. At the same time, China's growing presence creates a kind of competition for influence. Countries in the region can now balance their ties between Russia and China. This makes the region less predictable and more multipolar. Russia still has strong ties through the Eurasian Economic Union, but China's investments are giving neighboring countries new choices. Russia wants to work with China on the Belt and Road, especially to connect its own economy with the initiative. Russia hopes to benefit from new trade routes and infrastructure projects. But there's a catch. China's economy is much larger than Russia's, so Russia risks becoming a secondary partner. China sets much of the agenda, and Russia has to find ways to stay relevant. In the Middle East, the Belt and Road also reaches out. China invests in ports, energy, and trade routes in countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Russia is active there too, especially through its military involvement in Syria and energy deals with Gulf states. Sometimes their interests align, but other times they compete. Both countries want influence, but China's economic push adds a new layer to the regional game. Energy is a key part of this puzzle. China needs oil and gas from Iran and Gulf countries, just like Russia does. As China builds pipelines and infrastructure, it could shift traditional energy routes. Russia's security and energy diplomacy in the region remains as important, but they now face a more crowded field. Russia's strategy involves using its military presence and diplomatic ties to stay influential. It also uses the Eurasian Economic Union to keep economic links strong. But Chinese projects in the region could weaken Russia's grip over time. In the Middle East, Russia's military and energy efforts work alongside China's infrastructure investments. Still, Moscow keeps a close eye on Beijing's expanding role. Overall, China's Belt and Road is reshaping Russia's neighborhood by offering new economic options and shifting influence. Russia wants to benefit from these developments, but it also has to adapt to a more complex regional landscape. The balance of power is changing, and Moscow is carefully navigating this new environment to protect its interests.